Hey there, people. This is Pray Love, and today we are going to talk about uh, a top five fragrance list of the cheapest, cheap fragrances that are extremely or surprisingly good. Okay, so it's a list of fragrances that are surprisingly good, like I said, and most of them I own. So there's a lot of fragrances out there that are surprisingly good. There's not just these five, but these are five that I know about and that I also own for most of them. There's one that I don't own anymore, unfortunately, but I used to own it. So let's start. I'm gonna start with the one that is obvious and that I don't own anymore. It is Club de Nuit Intense Man. Any iteration of it. You could even put in that category Mont Blanc Explorer that I don't own anymore either, L'Aventure, which I don't own anymore either. These are all fragrances that have something in common, is that they are alternative or even straight up clones of Aventus by Creed, and they are doing a great job at it. So I even have like more fun at a certain degree with those kind of fragrances that I have with Aventus. Aventus is more like a very classy, um, well spoken, soft fragrance that has a lot of projection still, has a nice central and etc. But it is less punchy and it is less, has less sex appeal than something like Club de Nuit Intense, who like that is like a powerhouse. It smells for yards and yards around, and it's a very nice fragrance overall. More punchy, more party, more extroverted. It doesn't smell as classy, but there's no point in smelling as classy as Aventus for that kind of fragrance. It is simple and everybody likes it. It has a nice lemon pineapple opening, and it ends with like some smokiness from kind of a birch tree um, accord. And yes, let's get to another one. I'm going to go with this one. It's a Shaghaf Oud. This one is marketed for women. It is an amazing fake oud fragrance. So it's mostly a sandalwood fragrance because there is no real oud in that fragrance. It's a very cheap one. I bought it for extremely cheap, like for next to nothing. It's Swiss Arabian. This company is more on the cheaper side of things, but it is like a powerhouse. It works so well and it lasts forever, and it smells extremely good. So uh, it does smell like that typical like oud rose combo that you really want to have, like very luxurious. Uh, it doesn't smell cheap. Sometimes things smell cheap but are amazing, but this one doesn't smell cheap. It really projects like this image that you are luxuriant and opulent. I don't know what kind of other verbs to use, but it is great. It's dark and it's very like perfect for wintertime, mostly because it's a darker, it's a deeper, and um it's an overall heavier fragrance to wear. But check it out, it's great. Then there's Ariana Grande Cloud. I know that the hype is over on that fragrance mostly. It is still a definitely amazing cheap fragrance for the price. It smells really much like you can take it out of the compartment, but I really like the cloud. Anyway, it smells like an overkill Baccarat Rouge 540. I like to wear it sometimes, but mostly just like the preceding one. Women will mostly like this one, but I wear it anyway. It's an amazing fragrance. Baccarat Rouge, very airy fragrance, sweet, kind of effervescent, um, kind of like a simple syrup or marshmallow or whatever vibe to that fragrance. Cotton candy maybe because it's very airy and it's the projection is amazing with that one. It has sex appeal, and also the Ariana Grande one, Cloud, has kind of this beachy kind of, suntan lotion kind of vibe that is even more like, has adds even more of it, like a sex appeal to the fragrance. It doesn't smell as high hand as Baccarat Rouge 540, but it does smell more like party, and it's more like fun. And I'm always more of someone that goes for fun rather than just money and whatever. So this one, excellent fragrance, top notch, sensual and sexy fragrance. I love that. Um, then yes, Drakjar Noir. Okay, so hear me out. Like people, like, don't freak out. Drakjar Noir is a great fragrance. Okay, so uh, that is the assumption, and you need to roll with it. What is Drakjar Noir? It is a fragrance from the 80s. It is the staple from the 80s. People that were young during the 80s remember Drakjar Noir, and even like people were young in the 90s. It's the subject of a lot of jokes and different TV series and everything, like Shameless. There's a character that is portrayed as wearing Drakjar Noir because he wants to think he's cool or whatever. Uh, Drakjar Noir is um, it's Guy LaRoche. Like, this company didn't make a lot of fragrances. Like, mainly it's the Drakjar line. It smells like shaving products. It's mostly smells like shaving products, but it has like kind of a darkness to it, kind of a leathery aspect. The note breakdown is just completely huge, and it has like this oak mossy dry down that is very very nice. That is very warm and very masculine. It has the spices, like classic masculine spices, like cinnamon and um, it's kind of herbal too. There's a lot of things going on, but it mostly the most people will smell it and be like, oh, this smells like barbasol. This smells like shaving products, uh, but it's nice shaving products, and it smells really nice. And when you shave and you just want to smell like someone who shaves every day, and it's kind of like clean but also kind of alluring. Well, this one is really great. It's also a big throwback, and I think that the newer generations, mostly they've never really smelled it. Maybe their grandfathers were wearing it, and maybe their fathers, but most of the time, people didn't smell that much. And it's still a very appealing scent. That's why it was so popular during the 80s and the 90s, and that's why it got so out of popularity afterwards, is because it was overkill. Everyone was smelling like that. Just like a little bit like Sauvage right now. But I do prefer, like, I do think this one is more like, has like this classic vibe that I really like with the shaving product. But I really like Sauvage too. So anyway, and last but not least, certainly last not least, in my heart, this is a 007 fragrance. Like, wow, it and wall it there's a little wall, like a hidden wall that you can activate. uh this is actually a present for my father. He gave me that at Christmas. The liquid is black, but there's a technology that makes it like not black when it hits something. So I don't know if I can show you. I will show you with like um a shirt, so you can spray it like that, and you see it's not black. It is just wet. And God, like, this one is actually a fragrance that is like produced by Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble. I don't remember. PG. You know the brand. They do about everything that you can find in a bathroom. Um, and it doesn't smell expensive. It just smells so good. There's something about that fragrance. It's really like it's mysterious. There's something mysterious about that fragrance. I wear it a lot. Like admittedly, I wear it more than I would think I should, because I have so many superb fragrances with like niche sensibilities and stuff. This one is just like comforting. There's kind of an apple feel to it. There's like kind of like a cinnamon, like mostly like cardamom kind of a vibe. It has like similarities a little bit with La Nuit de l'Homme, uh, but in my opinion, like La Nuit de l'Homme actually kind of smells a little bit like candy or like um, I don't know. At some point, I don't really like the smell of it. Like it's a little bit too powdery. This one doesn't have this powdery aspect, so it just stays like warm but fresh, like warm and spicy but fresh, uh, and very very nice. Like a lot of people like have complimented me on that fragrance, and it's always like, what fragrance are you wearing? And I'm like, oh, it's the 007 fragrance from yeah, it's from Eon Productions, which is the movie company. Eon Productions is the company that produces the James Bond films. So it's really like scrap merch, but it works, and it smells amazing. So I wear it. I don't ask myself too many questions. It was a present from my dad. It's probably not a very expensive fragrance. It's dear to my heart, but it's also like it also gets to people so much. This fragrance is like it smells super good. Like I said, it is not a fragrance that you will smell luxurious with or rich or anything. You will smell like very good, but people will not be like, "Oh my God, you smell like $1,000." But people will be like, "You smell so nice. It's like warm and spicy and fresh at the same time. You smell like put together, but also like there's something more going on." Um, and yeah, so apparently it gives like splendid hugs too. Like it's really like enveloping and nice to smell, and just gives like a little sweetness, but also like a freshness that you're hugging someone and you're like, this person smells clean but also kind of sweet and also kind of spicy and alluring. This one is like it's a hidden gem. It's a true hidden gem, and I wear it all the time. So thanks for watching the video. uh Spread love and spray love. Bye bye.